Look on the screen, my dear sir. Take account of del-credere agent where we have the circular of the CBIC in this regard. Agent we understand. Then who is a del-credere agent? You are aware of that even in your fundamentals, namely the foundation of your curriculum. You are very much aware of it. I will refresh it. Sir, I am the agent. You are my principal. You are my principal. I am your agent. I used to promote and procure orders on behalf of you, because agent is working on behalf of the others. So I am working for you and getting the orders for you. Now here, when I approach my buyer, Mr. Buyer, we have a very good goods with us, very good durable goods of so and so my principal. I'm the agent. I have that goods in my go down. I'm willing to sell to you. Are you willing to buy? But the cost is, it is almost all, it is 10 lakh rupees worth of the goods. Mr. B says that definitely I will buy from you, but presently I am not having the money. Could you able to sell on credit basis? Oh, you want credit basis? Yes, sir. Then I approach my principal. Principal says, no, cash and carry, no credit business here. Why I appointed you? To get good buyers only. Therefore, no credit business, cash and carry. Oh, is it so? I know that my buyer, who is a genuinely worthy person, very good credit rating person, but my principal not willing to sell the goods on credit basis. Then in that case, I told, hey, Mr. Buyer, you don't worry, I will extend the loan to you. On behalf of you, I will pay the sale proceeds to my principal. And what is the credit limit you required? 3 months, sir. Okay, I will wait for 3 months. You please pay to me. I will extend the loan for the given supply. You please purchase on credit basis. For principal is considered, I will pay to principal from my pocket. But Mr. Buyer, you please pay me my amount of loan of 10 lakhs in 3 months, within 3 months, with the interest of rupees 1 lakh. Mr. Buyer agreed. Okay, no problem for me. Being an agent, I might be sold the goods to my buyer by issuing my own invoice, or otherwise, being an agent, I procure the order from a buyer and inform to my principal, hey principal, your goods are willing to buy Mr. So and so, you please sell it and issue the invoice directly, but payment I will make to you. That means principal directly issue the goods and issue the invoice to the buyer after receiving the information from the agent, and the agent makes the payment to the principal. So principal is very happy. Now there are two scenarios. One, the principal can supply directly the goods to buyer after getting the information from the agent, where the agent extended the loan on behalf of the buyer and the amount given to principal. Second scenario, goods received from principal by the agent is going to be sell that goods to the buyer, agent is going to issue the invoice, agent is in a position to transfer the title on the goods. In that case, Mr. Agent extended the loan to the buyer. On behalf of buyer, the payment is paid to principal. So there are two scenarios. One scenario does not cover under the schedule 1, point number 3. Second scenario, it is going to be covered under schedule 1, point number 3. There are two scenarios. Now del-credere agent means the agent who is going to act something more activities to get some more commission. Normal commission, agent. Something more commission for the more activities, my name is called del-credere agent. So I am getting even the interest on my loan extension. I have extended the loan to my buyer. to procure the goods for which I am getting the interest also in addition to my commission. Therefore, my name is called del-credere agent. In the given scenario, I am presenting now first one particular example. Del-credere agent covered under the schedule 1 point number 3 or not, first you tell me. Mr. A, seller of furniture, look on the screen. A appoints B to identify buyers. Very good. Mr. B, del-credere agent, agent of Mr. A. Mr. A appointed B to sell his goods. Mr. B identified a particular buyer and informed to Mr. A, so and so buyer want to buy the goods from you. Then A directly supply the goods and issue the invoice directly to the buyer, because the goods cannot move without invoice. Therefore, A sells the goods to B. When supplying the goods, invoice also issued to B by to the buyer by Mr. A. So Mr. A supply the goods to the buyer and also issue the invoice directly, meaning thereby agent Mr. B, who is a DCA, not in a position to issue the invoice in his own capacity. If it is not so, he is not transferring the title on the goods. In that case, is it covered under the schedule 1 point number 3 sub point A? Is covering or not covering? No. Perfectly correct answer. In that case, the solution, Mr. B does not fall under the category of agent covered under the schedule 1 point number 3, since invoice not issued by Mr. B in his own capacity. You rightly understood. Now here I am presenting further where Mr. B extended the loan to buyer to procure the goods, for which Mr. B is going to be get the interest on such loan in addition to the commission. Mr. B, whatever commission charging from Mr. A is a supply of service. Mr. B is supply of service, whatever commission charging from Mr. A, because who is a principal. Now Mr. B supply of extension of loan services by the del-credere agent to the recipient by charging interest would not form part of the value of supply of goods supplied to the buyer by the supplier. That means to say that Mr. A, principal, who supply the goods directly to his buyer and issue the invoice directly to the buyer, in that supply of goods, the interest charged by the agent should not be subsumed. It should not be value addition. It should not be added in the value of supply of goods. Now, what is this particular supply of goods or services from the point of A? From the point of A to Mr. B is supply of Mr. Buyer is the supply of goods. From the point of the agent, del-credere agent point of view, it is not fall under the schedule 1 point number 3. In that case, del-credere agent, whatever commission is earned from Mr. A is supply of services which is taxable. Now, in addition to the commission, because it's a del-credere agent, Mr. B, namely a del-credere agent, collecting the interest from the buyer by extending the loan. In that case, my dear friends, that interest should not be added in the value of supply of goods made by the principal directly to his buyer. Should not add. Now, this interest on deposit, on loans, on advances, whether attract the GST, a question mark. We have already the notification number 12/2017 of central tax, where list of exemptions. One of the exemption is interest earned, deposits, loans, advances other than interest on credit card is exempted from the payment of the GST. Repeating, interest earned on loans, advances, deposits, except interest on credit card, is exempted from the payment of the GST. So this interest collected by Mr. B being a del-credere agent from buyer is absolutely free from GST. And that interest should not be added in the value of supply of goods made by the principal to the buyer. Is it clearer? Further, presenting to your kind consideration as follows. Furthermore, the example 6. Del-credere agent covered under schedule 1 point number 3 is the point to refer. Mr. A, an artist, appoint B his actioner, namely to sell the goods through auction, namely paintings. Mr. B is a del-credere agent here and approach in the market by conducting the auction and identify the successful bidder, the person who scored the highest bidding is successful bidder, to whom Mr. B, namely the agent, directly supply the goods and issue the invoice. The invoice for the supply of the painting is issued by B on behalf of Mr. A, but in his own name, and the painting is delivered to the successful bidder. That means to say that the first leg, Mr. A, principal, supply the goods to B. The goods moved from A to B. The goods available in the hands of B. That goods, Mr. B, being an agent of Mr. A, sold to the buyer. In that case, Mr. B in a position to transfer the title on the goods. Therefore, I am asking you, my dear friends, tell me, this transaction, is it covered under the schedule 1 point number 3 or not? Yes or no? The transaction on the screen? Yes, excellent, perfectly correct answer. So in the given case, in the given scenario, B is not merely providing actioneering services, but is also supplying the painting on behalf of Mr. A to the bidder and has the authority to transfer the title of the painting on behalf of Mr. A. This scenario is covered under the schedule 1 point number 3. Excellent, absolutely correct, as you rightly understood and rightly informed to me also. Now, he is a del-credere agent. To procure the goods, Mr. B extended the loan to successful bidder and collecting the interest thereon. That means Mr. B supplied the two things here. One is Mr. B supplied the goods in his own capacity to buyer, namely supply of goods covered under schedule 1 point number 3, and also extended the loan collecting the interest. It is called as a composite supply. The interest thereon, even though it is not a composite supply, I am telling you, the interest on such loan will be added in the value of the goods, because we have valuation chapter where section 15 subsection 2 subclause B refers that the interest collected by the seller from the buyer for delay payment of the sale proceeds, in that case delay repayment of the sale proceeds, the interest charged, delay payment charges, it is addable in the value of supply as per the section 15 of the CGST valuation we have. So in the given case, my dear friends, the law of the land says that supply, look here, supply of extension of loan services by the DCA to the recipient by charging the interest would form part of the value of supply of goods supplied by DCA to the recipient. If there is 1 lakh worth of the goods sold and the interest collected 10,000, the value of supply of goods is in the hands of DCA, del-credere agent, is 1,10,000. Apart from that, Mr. B is charging the commission from A because he is the agent of Mr. A. In that case, that commission is supply of services. That commission is supply of services. That supply of service will be taxable only when there is a consideration exists. If the bill not rise, if consideration not received, Mr. B provide freely this service to Mr. A, then free of service, no consideration, no GST, since it is not covered under Schedule 1. Now, this point further going to be concluded with the help of a numeric example, examination example, which is as follows. I think visible to all of you on the screen this particular question is an examination question which I am referring for your kind consideration. Charm Limited registered the GST in the state of Jharkhand, manufactures cosmetic products and appointed Mr. Handsome of Mumbai, who is registered the GST in the state of Maharashtra as the del-credere agent to sell their products. Being a DCA, he agrees to raise invoice in his own name and also guarantees for the realization of the payment from customers to Charm Limited. In order to realize the payment from the customers on time, he extends short-term transaction-based loans to them and charges interest for the same. Mr. Handsome provides you the following details of transaction carried out during the month of March. Particulars are given, outward supply amount is given. Outward supply, goods sold by Mr. Handsome in his DCA capacity, intrastate transaction 2,80,000. Interest earned from the above customers for short-term credit facility provided for timely payment of dues, intrastate transaction 20,000. Commission bill raised on Charm Limited intrastate transaction in respect of a DCA service provided 30,000. Further, there are inward supplies. Interstate supply of goods received from Charm Limited, being a DCA, no consideration was paid, but the value under section 15 of that goods is 2 lakhs, but there is no consideration charged by the principal from his agent because is a transaction principal to agent. Principal supply the goods to agent not going to pay any money to the principal unless he sells the goods. Therefore, in the given case, without consideration, such a transaction even without consideration is a supply if it is covered under the Schedule 1, is a deemed supply in the hands of the principal. But anyhow, furthermore, inward supply to our agent receives training in marketing and distribution from Charm Limited as per DCA agreement, free of cost, freely. Company charges 75,000 for such training when it provides the same to the others. Applicable rate of tax on both inward and outward supply is 9% each for CGST, SGST and 18% of IGST. Amount given above are exclusive of taxes wherever applicable. Subject to the information given above, necessary conditions are complied with for availment of the input tax credit. You are required to calculate the gross liability and the eligible input tax credit for the month of March of Mr. Handsome. Brief note should be part of your answer for the treatment of item number serial number 1 to 5 above. So, dear friends, how this to be understand, important to note. Now, this point, this problem, what I will do is, I will put in a diagrammatic presentation. First, before going for that, who is the principal, who is the agent? Tell me quickly fast, who is the principal? Charm Limited of Jharkhand, correct. Who is the agent? Who is the agent? Handsome. Now, principal in Jharkhand state, agent is in Maharashtra state. When Charm supply the goods freely to agent, namely to Handsome, interstate transfer, that supply here covered the Schedule 1 point number 3, sub point A or not. You refer here. They said in the given case, they said here, they very clearly said that being a DCA, look here, being a DCA, he agrees to raise invoice. He agrees to raise invoice in his own name and also guarantee for the realization of payment from customers to Charm Limited. That means he is issuing invoice in his own capacity. Title is transferring, agent transferring the title to the buyer, and also ensure that extension of loan on behalf of buyer, that sale proceeds paid to principal. Now undoubtedly this handsome agent who is a DCA, del-credere agent, covered under the category of schedule 1 point number 3 sub point A, undoubtedly covered. Is it clear? So here DCA comes under the category of this particular schedule 1 point number 3, having this concept presenting. Now this DCA supply the goods to the buyer. At what price is supplied? At 2,80,000. So is supply of goods. Supply of goods. How much supply of goods here? Is 2,80,000. Also he extended certain loan and collecting the interest. Since covered under the schedule 1 point number 3, DCA extend the loan to the buyer to facilitate to procure the goods, and that loan extended by agent to the buyer, agent is collecting from the buyer some interest, which is del-credere agent interest. In that case, the law of the land says that that interest also will form part of the value of supply of goods, which is rupees here 20,000. So total value of supply of goods, total value of supply of goods is 3 lakh. Is it clear, my dear friends? Then this is the supply of service, because commission bill raised on Charm Limited interstate transaction in respect of DCA service provided, that is supply of services. He is a commission agent, he is getting the commission, is supply of service. Supply of service, supply of service is supply of goods. Now when the goods supplied by the principal to his agent Charm Limited from Jharkhand, the goods made available to Handsome Mumbai free of cost, that transaction covered under schedule 1 point number 3 sub point A. It is a deemed supply for whom? For the principal, namely for principal is considered, namely Charm. For the principal is considered, for him the deemed supply, the value prevailed for the given product at the time of supply is given here as 2 lakhs. So deemed supply is 2 lakhs. So valuation in the hands of principal, supply of goods 2 lakhs. Valuation in the hands of supply of goods DCA is 3 lakhs. Valuation in the hands of DCA for supply of services 30,000. This point which I am presenting here as follows. Look on the screen here. In the given case, my dear friends, Charm Limited Jharkhand appointed del-credere agent, Handsome is agent, supply the goods directly to the buyer. Handsome is extended the loan to the buyer. Handsome being an agent also issue the invoice, namely transfer the title to the buyer in that case, the entered value of supply of goods for DCA is 3 lakhs. 2 lakh 80,000 plus 30,000 of interest is the entered value of 3 lakhs taxable supply of goods. Further, supply of extension of loan services by the DCA to the recipient by the charging of interest would be form part of the value of supply of goods supplied by the DCA to the recipient. Further, valuation in the hands of principal, value of supply of goods is 2 lakhs. The value of supply of services in the hands of DCA when he raised the bill to the Charm Limited, value of supply of goods is 30,000. Got the clarity, my dear friends?